The new 1000 table.
Are you serious?
I'm super excited because we have a mega collaboration this time. We got Kiptoe, 1000, we got Austin. So while these guys are painting this insane mural that we'll be checking in on, Austin and I are gonna make a table and put some of 1000's art on that table. This is gonna be so much fun.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna cut a couple slabs from this huge stump. You guys might remember from the very first video when we found it here in the building. Over here, we've got this massive, massive tree stump. This was, I guess, some display stand at the flower shop. At least one, maybe two things we make out of that. I don't know, if you guys have ideas, let me know. How many years of dust are on this thing? Woo. So I'm actually not sure what species of wood this is. It feels pretty soft, so we're guessing like it might be maybe cedar just from the color, but we'll probably won't know until we actually see it. So yeah, kind of exciting to find that out.
We have a chainsaw.
I like the idea of getting out a chainsaw first. So what do I need to know?
Just push that in and pull the trigger.
I'll grab this firmly. New plan. We're bringing in the A team, and A meaning artist, not necessarily better.
Hey,
but hey.
The A team!
Oh my gosh.
Whoa,
this is insane.
You want to pull, and you don't want to push. You just want to kind of like guide it so it doesn't get all flippity floppity.
Okay.
Oh shit. Flippity floppy on you.
I think I've done enough of this already.
You gotta at least have one stroke.
Ow! That was lost 5 toes right there.
Alright, good job, guys.
Yeah, we'll stick to the painting.
These guys make amazing art. A is for amazing art. Alright. Alright, new plan. We're gonna get the chainsaw and take a little bit more out of it. So we're just having to hollow out the middle with the 2-man saw. Good. Woo! Alright.
We did it in 2 hours, and it was terribly inefficient.
Terribly inefficient. We like effectively cut this slab 5 times. Like every one of these little slots was like we came at a different angle and redid work. We may not even be able to use this slab because it's just so thin here in the middle. We're actually cutting a second slab too, because Austin is going to be making this really cool faceted geometric sort of anti-live edge table from the live edge slab. Check it out, it's gonna be on his channel. It's so much easier this time. Oh, that's so much better. So the first one took 2.5 hours. I think this took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just do a third one. We're on a freaking roll. These guys are making fast work. Like, I am barely into my table build for them, and they're like 75% done. It's really kind of cool watching these guys. They have totally different styles. So I'm like talking to him. Kiptoe like got started doing more like graffiti stuff. So his style, he goes in real loose at first, fills in the broad strokes, and then finishes with the detail. 1000 came more from like a background of doing canvas work and paintings. And so he starts with a lot more detail in the beginning. And you can see they're both looking freaking amazing, but cool to see the differences.
So you see this little triangle right
All
here?
right.
You gotta fill that in as clean as you can. You got that?
All right.
Little
little patchy there. You might want to hit it with a little more color.
A little more color?
You gotta fill that in there, bro.
Gotta get the pop.
Yeah.
Ocean blue too, that's like the perfect color.
Oh, dolphins and sharks and stuff.
Oh yeah. Dive right into this painting. After proving that my painting skills were at least first grade level, it's time to do something that I'm actually good at. Go help Austin finish cutting out the third slab. Woo. I was thinking that this was pine just because it seemed kind of light, I mean relatively light, but now that we've opened it up, we've got these crazy like spalting patterns. It looks like maple to me.
I've never seen these kind of marks on pine before.
Once we clear it with the CNC and it will get a little bit fresher, cleaner surface, we'll start to know even more, but right now my money is on maple, which is awesome because maple, to me at least, is a much nicer wood than pine. This whole thing right here is called the gantry, and the bottom of the gantry is at 8 inches height. And in the top of the second slab, it actually had a mountain. So that mountain shape was actually higher at the peak than the 8 inches that the CNC can cut. The bit that does the cutting can go a bit higher than 8 inches, and it's in front of the gantry. So we kind of had to just clear out a section with the bit to make room for the gantry to move into, and then kind of keep doing that stepwise sequentially rather than just doing the whole thing at once. So now that we got it down under 8 inches all the way across, we can come back and flatten the slab normally, just kind of making one pass back and forth to get everything level. Flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and then we have a perfectly even thickness and level slab to work with. Now I think we're gonna all go upstairs and have a little lunch on the roof. Time for a little break. After lunch, we paused the woodworking for a bit to give the artist a dust-free environment.
Dip the dart into some golden mural paint, and then Mike is gonna take the best shot that he can at the abstract part. Whoa, that thing has a freaking motor? Oh my god! Yes, bro, that's the coolest part of the whole mural.
Kiptoe's here. We're having some epoxy fun.
Yeah, we're having fun.
You never poured some epoxy, so I mean,
Check it out.
that whole satisfying, gooey, runny resin thing.
I'm all about the mess, as you can tell.
So we're like halfway through making our tables, and 100 and Kiptoe.
Look, I did it, Mom.
Those dudes paint a lot faster than we slab wood. We're about to say goodbye to these guys, but I want to go check out their paintings real quick. Let's head on over. I am just like so happy right now. I could get to look at these every day. I've been talking to Kiptoe since like 2017. We've been trying to do something together. 100 is somebody who I just like completely respect, love his videos, and I reached out to him, and I just feel so lucky that I get to work with these guys. And they did this amazing piece of art here. Over here, you've got this character with the mask, which to me is kind of like representative of where I was when I started this journey with you guys in the building. The mask is kind of like what I was wearing when I was in the corporate world, and I took that mask off when I went full time and kind of became who I wanted to be. You got a key in the hand over here. There's a keyhole over here in Kiptoe's piece with the dragon. When I took that jump, I was super scared. Like, that was the scariest thing I'd ever done in my whole life, leaving that corporate world security blanket behind. That dragon is like that fear, but there's a keyhole, and you got the two keys here, and you can unlock that. And those are like the key to the building. and then I gained control of the Dragon. And now I kind of have reached a point where I'm just much happier in my life. Come on, guys. Okay, I'm getting like real teary-eyed right now. Bro. I'm so happy.
That's cool, man.
The art's amazing, but I think we all kind of became closer and like came together. This is all about coming together, so you guys should also go check out 100, check out Kiptoe, check out their communities, follow them, subscribe, bell, you know, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be probably seeing you guys soon. I'm seeing you in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing something at your place. I'm gonna be maybe delivering that table in person,
Oh,
or we'll be doing something up at his place. He's only like an hour and a half away.
You better subscribe to my industrial maker right now, or we're gonna paint over this whole mural.
That's
So,
right. That's
do it.
right. Future me here, and I gotta jump in because I'm up here in Michigan with Ten Hun, and just found out him and Kiptoe are doing a limited release of the mural in the garage. It's only gonna be available for 1 week.
It's a giclée print with archival inks on museum quality paper, signed by me and Kiptoe, numbered by me and Kiptoe. Boom, baby.
All right, let's get back to building the table. So the epoxy is poured, cured, and it's ready to flatten out again on the CNC, but unfortunately, we've been having so much fun hanging out. Me, Austin, 100, Kiptoe, Kat, Bruce, everybody just chilling, and we worked a little slower than we expected. So Austin's taking his slab back to Michigan with him. He showed me a preview of what he's gonna do to finish off that table, and it is a fire design. So I've got a good idea what it's gonna look like. You guys don't, and I'm not gonna show you, because you gotta go to his channel, check it out over there in order to find out. Before we get any further, a quick word from this video's sponsor, Area at Work. If you guys have been following the channel, you know Area at Work is a longtime supporter of everything we're doing here with the abandoned building renovation and all my projects. In fact, it's been well over a year since I started working with Area and have basically been wearing their clothes exclusively every day. Since I've been wearing Area at Work day in, day out, I thought it was a good time to talk about long-term durability. They went through Chicago's winter in the snow, painting my whole building, concrete work, drywall, mud, you name it, I threw it at them. And they've held up like champs. I don't even have to tell you about the durability because you can just look at all my clothes and just see that I've been using them heavily. I can wholeheartedly endorse Area at Work as super tough, super durable, and pretty darn stylish too. So if any of you are interested in upping your workwear game, check out the link in the description to find some of my Area at Work favorites and find some of your own. Much love to Area at Work for their continued support. And now let's get back to the video. So I know what you're thinking. We're playing some dominoes. What these pieces of tape with all these domino-like markers do is allow this crazy space-age computer vision assisted router, basically a handheld CNC. These allow it to see the workpiece, so it can basically create a visual map on this touchscreen. What we're actually about to do is carve a signature 1000 moonwave pattern into this table. So I've got a computer graphic file of those moonwaves loaded onto here, and I could basically just take this tool around and drop the moonwave pattern right into the location where I want to cut it on this slab. And because this is a really weird shape, it's a lot easier to kind of position that pattern using this tool to just kind of see where I'm putting it than it is to try to mathematically find where the exact center or point is in a grid. So we are at a big moment in the table. It is time to pour the first layer of epoxy into this moonwave pattern, and I gotta pick out colors. I'm doing this for an artist, so yeah, that's a lot of pressure. But I do have a little secret weapon of my own. I have an artist on the industrial team, so let me call Kat in real quick.
What you got, Mike?
We got these moon waves, 1000's thing. He puts them in everything. We're also gonna be putting the 1000 logo in the middle. So we gotta pick the color scheme for this, and I am not at all confident. I got kind of two thoughts for the moon waves, either white or blue for the 1000 logo in the middle. What do you think though for the moon waves? That's all we gotta pick out right now.
Well, in 1000's videos, he either has the moon waves in white or he does them as a tint and reverses out of a darker background. So I would vote for your pearlescent white.
This morning I am excited and nervous because I'm gonna try something with this I have never done before, layering epoxy inlays. So first step in that is actually to take this back to the CNC, plane it flat to just remove all the excess epoxy here. And the reason we poured the epoxy to spill out of the cutouts is, well, physics. And because of surface tension, you can't really fill it exactly to the top. You're either under or over filling it. You guys might have noticed something a little bit different, or actually a lot different about this run on the CNC. There was no dust. I was generating those mountains of dust before, and this time virtually dust free. So what was the difference? Got to give Rockler a shout out because they hooked it up with this 750 Cfm Dust Collector. It's a lot for something that's portable, and I can kind of roll it around, put it on any tool I want. So I'm very happy about how this thing worked out. And a new dust shoe. So this thing has got these bristles, goes on with magnets, touches the workpiece, contains all the dust in here so everything gets sucked into the dust hose. Having good dust collection is just such a game changer. Just in time too, because I'm about to use this thing to cut out all my kitchen cabinets. We got 1000's logo here, so now I can just place this wherever I want and get it lined up to where I like how it looks. Zoom in, flip it on, and just follow the line. We're gonna let that dry, come back in the morning, and then it is time to add some real colors to make it pop. I wonder why the epoxy wasn't getting pulled up in dust collection. Yeah, that would have helped things.
Good morning.
So we just spent a whole day playing with different color combinations for the epoxy inlay. First we were thinking we were gonna use like that ocean wave technique, and we tried that here. But then I had a realization. To get the inner epoxy level with the outlines in the table, we're gonna have to run it on the CNC again and take the top layer of epoxy off. That sort of ocean wave you see here is actually at the surface and not all the way through the epoxy.
we realized that was kind of a big risk. So Kat had a good idea to match the color scheme of the epoxy to the color scheme of 1000's mural.
I have good ideas every once in a while.
We put those on a little stick so that we could color match them. And then Kat did a test run where she mixed different epoxy pigments we had to match the colors exactly. So I'm kind of impressed. That's to be able to mix like 3 different epoxy pigments together. Now we just have to recreate that again and get that exact same color pigment to pour the table. Can you do that again?
That's what I do.
Okay.
All right, we're using blue, yellow, and white to make our teal. A little mica powder for some spice. We're gonna be mixing orange and red for our blood orange with a little bit of orange mica powder for some spice. Testing, 1, 2.
Okay guys, this is a huge deal because I'm about to do something I don't normally do, and that is relinquish control. So I'm actually gonna let Kat get her hands dirty and pour this bit of epoxy. Since she did the color mixing, she gets to do the honors.
Here goes the blood orange cherry on top.
This is why I probably should have just let her do the whole thing.
Because just try to get that up and out.
Just don't get in the orange now.
What?
Epoxy pour is done, so now it's just the waiting game. Let it sit overnight, come back tomorrow, throw it on the CNC, take off the top layer, and hopefully uncover those clean, crisp lines we're expecting to see. And while we're waiting, Kat is gonna work on her skateboard project. Kat, when's it coming out?
As soon as possible.
As soon as I give her a break from the hard work we're doing here. That's right. Oh, and I'm gonna go get a haircut because, yeah, it's long overdue.
Next up, take a flat disc on the angle grinder, and I'm gonna grind down these letters that were carved into the sides from the old flower shop.
Now, normally I just use like a light oil or wax-based finish that leaves a pretty natural look to the wood, but I just talked to Ten Hun and he wants the full-on glossy epoxy look. So we're gonna do a flood coat of tabletop epoxy on here. And because there's so much dust in this area, let me show you what I did. So I constructed a dust tint here in the workshop, which is hopefully gonna allow us to pour this flood coat pretty clean without having dust build up. So cross your fingers for me.
Before we dump the flood coat on, we're gonna brush on a thin seal coat, which will help the flood coat to go on more evenly so we don't need to do as many coats to get a nice level surface. Time for the legs, and we're just gonna make this super easy because Semi-Exact hooked it up with these sweet steel DIY spider legs that are all prefabricated. All we gotta do is basically screw them in. The only thing that's at all tricky is because we're screwing an end grain, you can't just screw into that directly. So I gotta use some epoxy to put some threaded inserts in there so we can have something to firmly attach the legs to in the table. We don't want this falling over in 1000's studio when he's throwing some crazy party in there. So gonna let this epoxy set up overnight, and tomorrow we drive up to Michigan and make delivery.
We are on the road right now. Should be there in about an hour and see how he likes this thing.
Michigan City. Is that in Michigan or Indiana? I think it might actually still be in Indiana. Hold on. Okay, so now we're in Michigan.
Welcome, welcome.
So we have arrived in 1000's studio. This place is pretty awesome. Pretty much covered in amazing 1000 art. And I'm hoping this table will end up being considered a worthy addition to this space. Got the table covered up, ready for the reveal. Let's go get 1000. He's in his editing suite. All right, guys, ready? Whoa! That other slab, I told you guys you're gonna have to go to his channel. You still gotta go watch his video, but holy crap. I don't know if I can show you my table now. This thing looks so cool.
Are you intimidated?
A little bit.
That is very...
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Is it on the mic?
Yeah.
Is it finally time to see this epic coffee table that you've been promising and promising?
Promises, man. So 1000, you remember that old stump? You remember that thing? Huge. Now, we turned it in to the new 1000 table. The light for every shot.
Oh, snap. Dang, those are my colors too. Oh my gosh, that looks so sick, dude. How did you do this? What can I say, man? Thank you so much. I love the like navy outlines. A lot of people think that I use like black outlines on my work, but I always use like a super dark version of a color to make my outlines, and you guys even like got that attention to detail.
That was all cat. It's a secret weapon over there. I'm glad you like it. I was genuinely a little nervous. Honestly, this whole thing's just been so much fun. Like, I'm happy we got to do this and also made a new friend. So kids, that's the most important thing.
That's what's up, brother.
All right, man. And I will see you next time.
And buy Mike's merch. Buy his merch.